Well, families of the victims of two Boeing 737 MAX plane crashes can continue to pursue criminal charges against the company following a significant court victory.
A federal judge ruled on Friday that relatives of the 346 people killed on those crashes in Ethiopia and Indonesia can challenge a $2.5 billion settlement sparing Boeing from criminal prosecution. Joining us now is Michael Stumo. He is the father of Samia Rose Stumo, who died in the crash of Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 in 2019. Michael, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for meeting us. What was in your mind the moment you heard about Friday's ruling?
We were very happy. Families across the world in 30 plus countries were very happy that we now have a chance to make our case against Boeing for their criminal conspiracy to defraud the FAA and cause our loved ones' death. We've been fighting for this since February of 2020, trying to get the Department of Justice to include us families in their criminal prosecution efforts with Boeing. They refused to do so. The Department of Justice came out with a secret criminal settlement that let Boeing off the hook easily, didn't prosecute Dennis Muhlenberg or David Calhoun for their participation in the fraud. And now finally we have a chance to go to the next step, as Department of Justice can no longer deny that we are crime victims as they were doing.
Michael, we see your beautiful daughter, Samia Rose, in that picture that you're holding there. And of course, no amount of money can make up for the loss of your daughter. Explain to us the decision that was originally made with that multi-billion-dollar settlement, because there are some who will be surprised that you and other families are challenging that settlement that was reached between Boeing and the Justice Department. What were the actual effects to you?
Number one, it provides the Boeing executives immunity. And so they were the heads of the multi-year conspiracy to hide the MCAS system, a flight control system from pilots, which malfunctioned not only in the Lion Air crash in October of 2018, but then when everybody knew about, they continued hiding it from the public, from investors, the FAA, saying there's no problem, everything is fine. And then my daughter was in the plane that crashed in March. Number two, it is only a $243 million or so settlement against Boeing. The rest of the money is largely made up of compensation otherwise due to airlines for the grounding. That should not be, it is not a $2.5 billion. It is a very small slap on the hand, $243 million, which is worth probably 2.5 MAX planes at sales value. So Dennis Muhlenberg and David Calhoun need to face justice. They need to be criminally prosecuted. And we're grateful that the judge found that Boeing's criminal conspiracy caused the deaths. That's the first court ruling that I know that said that they caused it.
Wow,
but it wasn't just two test pilots. It went all the way to the top.
Wow. Besides this criminal case that you're clearly seeking, and for these people to be held criminally liable, what else would you like to see happen as an outcome of the tragedy? What would be enough?
We need, first for the judge, the next steps are now that we are recognized as crime victims and have the opportunity to meet and confer, the judge has to decide, what do we do? This immunity deal, giving the top dogs in their influential, through their influential lawyers' efforts, immunity from their criminal behavior is going to be challenged. The judge has to decide, do I throw out the deal? Do I do something else? Our view is the deal was made in violation of the Federal Crime Victims' Rights Act, and they have to start over with a new prosecution team that's not defending what they did before. Number two, Boeing still hasn't learned. They're trying to get the same flight crew alert system that caused all the false and nuisance alerts in these planes. It's a decades-old antiquated system that caused 7 crashes including ours. They want to put that same glitchy system in the new MAX 10 plane and are lobbying Congress to do it rather than putting a modern crueler system that doesn't do that, that's consistent, logical, gives them help. That's in the Airbus, it's in other Boeing planes. But again, Boeing wants to save money and not do the right thing.
We are so sorry for your loss. Michael Stumo, thank you for joining us. And we should note that neither the Justice Department nor Boeing responded to our requests for comment.